Sometimes people come to me asking whether they should give a narcissist a second chance. My answer is no. If you got out, stay out. Giving another week to a narcissist can easily lead to you losing months or even years of your life, to losing yourself, losing your sanity. So people come to me saying that they had gotten out of a toxic relationship with a narcissist years ago and they wished they'd stayed out, and they're mad at themselves because they went back. They gave that second chance and it didn't work out. So in this video, I want to give you clarity of what to do when someone, a narcissist or toxic person, is asking or begging for another chance, making commitments and promises and telling you that they've seen the light. I'm Lise Leblanc. Today I'm talking about whether you should give a second chance to a narcissist. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. I post weekly videos on topics related to mental health, stress, grief, and relationships. This content is for informational purposes only, so if you need help with your specific situation, please reach out to a mental health therapist or professional in your area. As a therapist and life coach, I often have clients come in to see me, and one week they have a long story of how they're being psychologically abused by their partner, and they share a long list of concrete examples of deflection, projection, stonewalling, gaslighting, and all kinds of other clear-cut abusive behaviors. And they're relieved because they've ended the relationship. They're out of it. And then 2 weeks later, they come back to see me and tell me that things have completely turned around. Their partner has made huge changes, and then they, explain how, well, they've been hoovered back. So, the person they're with, the narcissist, is now going to counseling, they've apologized, and they'll tell me that they even had a situation where the narcissist acted in a different way than they normally would. And I say, okay, well, I don't want to be the pessimistic naysayer here. Maybe you're right. But just in case, let's be smart about it. Let's review the history of this relationship, keeping in mind that past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. And they'll say, yeah, Lise, I know, but I feel it. I feel it's different this time. I just sense that they really mean it this time. Something has shifted. Okay, how can I argue with that? I want to believe in miracles too. And I do acknowledge that people can and do change their patterns of behavior. But it doesn't happen overnight. So, here are 3 questions to ask yourself if you are considering giving your narcissistic partner or friend or whoever a second chance. Number 1, is he or she sincere in their acknowledgement that they have a problem and that problem is narcissism? Number 2, do they want to change, and are they seeking help to change? Because they won't be able to do it on their own. And number 3, are they making a consistent effort to change? And are you seeing consistent improvements in behavior over time? Now, the narcissist or toxic person can act good for a while, but it won't last, especially under stress or when impulse strikes. And even if the answers to these questions are all a huge yes, it is still highly improbable that they will actually change. What is more likely is that they will go back to their old behavior as soon as you let your guard down, and as soon as, again, they are faced with temptation or under stress. So what I get people to do when they have been sucked back into a relationship with a narcissist because they are now going to therapy, apologizing for real, making bigger, better promises, is to at least keep the blinders off and keep an objective perspective. So I'll ask my clients to start a chart. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. In fact, it can be as simple as a calendar. And with a check mark, start recording each incident that you would consider narcissistic behavior. Don't overthink it. This is for your eyes only. Let me repeat that. Your eyes only. Don't use it as evidence to show the narcissist that they are being narcissistic. Stop trying to prove that they are a narcissist and make them change. This is for your own awareness so that you can honestly assess what is happening in your relationship and make decisions based on the evidence rather than on your emotions, which the narcissist is a master at manipulating. Now, in a normal relationship, a healthy relationship, there will be some check marks on your calendar because people have some narcissistic tendencies. They're not perfect. All relationships have some dysfunction. And someone who is highly narcissistic, even if they're working really hard to change, they'll be a work in progress and they will have some check marks. But if you're choosing to give another chance because you believe they've changed, they are committed to change, or whatever your reasons, pay attention. Are those check marks increasing or decreasing? And decide on a threshold. How many check marks do you need? Where is that line? You know, if you're standing at a slot machine in a casino, losing all night, you can keep putting money into that machine until you have nothing left. And then you can borrow or steal to keep going. And when you're completely bankrupt, you can blame the casino or the machine. But at some point, once you recognize what's happening, you have a responsibility to yourself. You have a decision to make to get the help that you need to stop trying to change them and to do what you need to do to make it work for you. It's not going to be easy, and you're going to need some help with this because the psychological tactics of the narcissist, especially the malignant ones, is to break you down into a submissive, passive, helpless state, keeping you confused and in fear of what will happen if you do stand up to them, making you believe their reality instead of yours, isolating you, making you think your survival depends on them. But it doesn't. That is not reality. If you haven't seen the Stanford experiment, watch it. I linked it in the description below. And here you will see how quickly and easily a person can be dominated into submission, even in a simulation. And if you're watching this video here, it tells me that at least part of you knows what's going on. And it's that part of you that needs to be strengthened and empowered. So, to summarize, if a narcissist tells you that they've seen the light and have changed, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is highly improbable. So be careful, because like I said before, giving one more week to this relationship can turn into years of your life and losing yourself and possibly even your sanity. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos on narcissistic personality disorder.